Hello everyone, Reggie Time here, and today I want to talk about shame in poker and how it can be so damaging, not just to players, but also to the game in general. I'm going to want to talk about two different types of shame. The first is the type of shame that's damaging to players coming up in the game, and that type of shame is based around the limits that we play, the 5-0, 2-0, that type of players. I mean, I so often see players almost being apologetic about the limit of the hand that they're posting. He will usually start something like, "Okay, guys, this is just a 5-0 hand, but ... and kind of, why apologise for posting a hand from the nanostakes? But we see it so often. You guys have maybe done it yourself, or you'll have seen it on the forums. So why apologise? I mean, straight away that implies to me that you've got some kind of maybe inferiority complex is not the right way to word it, but you're kind of insecure about the limit that you're playing, or that you're worried about being taken seriously by your peers that you're hoping for replies from. And whilst the latter might be a reasonable concern, that that you might end up being trolled or what have you, we'll tackle that later. But there is, or at least there should be, absolutely no reason for anybody to feel ashamed or embarrassed about posting a nanostakes and looking for help. Why should there be? We all have to start somewhere. It just doesn't make sense to me why people would, or why people should be embarrassed by this. When I think about it a little more, I think a lot of it has to do with the very outdated narrative that the lower stakes are mega soft. I mean, let's admit it. They're obviously the softer stakes. The softer stakes, or whichever site you're on, the lower stakes are going to be the softer stakes. That's kind of just how it works. But that doesn't mean that they're mega soft games, particularly on the major sites like PokerStars and what have you. They're in no way as soft as they used to be back in the day. Not even close. I would make an argument for now saying that 5-0 on Stars in 2017 is as tough, maybe tougher, or nearly as tough, but very close to being as tough as 50-0 was back in 2007, just a decade ago. As I've said in previous videos, even at the lowest stakes now, there's just not a picnic. There's no picnic anywhere you play no limit hold'em. You simply have to play well to beat them. If you have an off day, then you're a favourite to lose. Almost certainly. You can't turn up, play 2-0 badly, or play 2-0 even like a bad reg, and lose, and expect to make money long term. It's just not going to happen. If you were to turn up and play your B game at 2-0, you'd be a losing player probably. Assuming that you're just, say, a 2-0 player or a 5-0 player. If you just produce your B game constantly, you're going to get beat. So, how are you going to play well, or how are you going to learn to play well if you're too ashamed or too afraid to post hands or to post questions for fear of ridicule or fear of being trolled, or just for being too embarrassed to admit that you're struggling to beat some of the softest games online? For many people, this is why I think people like myself offer an invaluable service. And yeah, this video is kind of designed to promote my services, but I genuinely believe in it. I mean, for a start, I understand the lower stakes really, really well, and I certainly understand them much better than those that claim that the nanostakes are full of fish and just belittle the limits at every opportunity. I also have a really well moderated, friendly Facebook group, and you can find that link below the video, where you can come and you can post your questions completely for free and expect to get respectful and hopefully useful advice. For those who have a little bit more money, I also provide low-cost, person-centered coaching, which in my opinion is ideal for players currently losing at 2-0, 5-0 and 10-0. And I feel I give losing players a way to ask all the questions that are burning on their lips that they're afraid to ask in most communities, in both of the ways I work, both in the Facebook group that I'm posting very regularly and in the private one-to-one sessions. There must be tons of players out there, maybe you're one of them, that's got loads of questions that you want to ask but you're just too afraid to ask them for fear of some utter fucking dickhead just coming back and trolling you and abusing you. It's not fair, but it's just currently the way the system works. It's unfortunate, but it's the world we live in. So if you are listening to this and you are struggling with your game and you don't really know where to turn for answers to your questions, please do join the Facebook group. It's completely free. And if there are people that sometimes join and troll people, they are swiftly banned. There's no please improve your behaviour, please don't do it again. It's just get fucked, you're out, because we're not having it. We don't have people in there that just talking down to people all the time, trolling them, posting them, just posting negative responses constantly. It doesn't happen. We have like a one-strike rule. One striking you out. We don't mess around. So you'll be able to ask your questions without any fear of ridicule or trolling, and you can expect, not hope, you can expect to get respectful and useful responses, which is how it should be. If you do have a budget to spend on receiving more person-centered help, then please do consider contacting me, and we can see if we're compatible to work together. Some guys contact me and I don't feel we're compatible. They're just too gambly. They don't want to know about bankroll management. They just want to be taught how to win. So I'm not as compatible. I turn probably as many people away as I do accept. So I'm not just out there just trying to rake in much cash from people who come to my help as possible. I only try and help the guys that I think I can help. So yeah, if you are thinking, you know what, I've got £10 a week to spend or £15 a week to spend and hopefully try to improve, then do reach out and we can have a conversation. Now I want to talk briefly about what in my opinion is a way more damaging part of this, because it's not damaging to individuals, it's damaging to like the whole microstakes and nanostakes community in general. Most of the guys that troll me on YouTube or other like badly moderated mediums like, I don't know, Reddit, 2+2, you know, all the crappos like that we all kind of visit, but you know, it's like a fucking war zone. These are the guys that, in my opinion, are damaging the microstakes economy way more than anything or anybody else, way more than Rake, way more than like Tough Games. It's the guys that are just talking people down and putting them off the game in general. They're the ones that are doing the most fucking damage, in my opinion. The guys that reply dismissively to players that are looking for help to beat the nanostakes, the guys that just tell people that they fucking suck and type replies such as full pre to every post you see, thinking there's some kind of fucking comedy genius because someone typed it once and now every fucking tedious moron in the world is doing it. Those guys that just tell players to quit because they're so bad, and you know, we've all seen it. The guys that just get off on being fucking unpleasant for absolutely no reason. These guys, in my opinion, they're the biggest morons in poker by an absolute distance. The classic examples of like the Dunning-Kruger effect, which I have to credit at this moment, Chris, who I'm currently working with, he made me aware of this phenomenon this week, and it made me laugh quite a lot because, wow, it's just so related to poker. It's untrue. If you don't know what it is, Google it, and I'm sure you'll agree with me. These guys just seem to get off like belittling others. When you check their post history, it's often littered with abuse or condescending replies, which never actually say anything like meaningful of any substance where other better players can call them out for their giving them bad advice. They don't give advice, they just basically say, you are shit, fuck off and die, and stuff like that, and it's just like whatever. Like, these guys are complete morons, and poker would be a much better place without them, almost for sure. So my call to you guys is, if you do see these guys acting like dicks anywhere at all, call them out for it. Don't argue them about poker, just say, you sir are a dick and you are damaging to poker. I mean, sure, right now it might seem like they're like slightly better than you at poker, but that shouldn't, and it absolutely doesn't give them the right to act like pricks all over the internet. These guys need quieting down. They need the silent majority of good guys to shut them the fuck up, because they really are damaging the game, and they're damaging people's progress, and they're damaging the growth of the game, because they absolutely force players out of the game before they ever properly get started. If you're one of those guys, please do consider the cause and effect of your actions. I know it's just how the world works online these days, not just in poker but in other spheres too, but it's absolutely a much worse disease in poker than it is in most other like forums and things that I tend to visit during my week for my other interests and hobbies. I go on trade union boards, or I like snooker. I'm trying to improve with snooker, and I like playing darts and what have you. So you go on asking for advice on which darts to use, which cues, how to get better, all these types of things, and you ask for advice, and people give genuine good advice without being a complete prick. Why poker just seems to give people opportunities, or not opportunities, but reasons to think they can be knobheads, I don't know. But it needs stopping, and these guys need calling out. So, to sum up, if you're a struggling microstakes player, do not let shame or fear of being shamed by absolute dickheads put you off learning, or even worse, stop you from playing. Block the trolls on the sites where there's a blockability. If you can't block trolls, if you post on sites where the trolling's rampant and you can't block the worst of them, just find safer environments to post in, such as my Facebook group or other Facebook groups too. The good thing about Facebook groups is the trolling's way less frequent because people can't be anonymous. They have to post from their actual Facebook accounts. And when they have the lack of anonymity to hide behind, like they don't have the cloak of anonymity, people just tend to act much more pleasantly and in a much more civilized manner, and the trolls just don't troll. Or if you can afford it, consider paying for help for someone like me, or go to a training site where your questions are way more likely to get positive responses from the coaches that coach there and the players that play there, because it's in that training site's interest not to have a bunch of absolute knobheads trolling their customers. So yeah, just consider, if you can afford it, consider paying for help in some way. And most of all, remember, poker should be fun. We all know it's no fun losing, and it's even less fun losing when you get abused by like Dunning-Kruger victims for trying to improve yourself. Just give yourself a break, try and find some safer places to find the help you need. These places do exist, and there are spaces out there for all budgets. You know, if you want to do it for free, there's a Facebook group. So you have money to spend, there's private coaching like myself, or there's training sites you can join, like Run It Once or Doug Polk's, whatever it's called, like Upswing Poker, stuff like that. These places all have Facebook groups now where you can join, you can subscribe, you can post, and it's much safer. Kind of stay away from the freebie stuff that is badly moderated and has lots of anonymous trolls. Just stay away from it, because it doesn't do you any good to be posting there. So yeah, I think we've pretty much summed up what I wanted to say in this video. Here's one of my shorter ones, but if you have enjoyed the video, please do hit that thumbs up below, and please do share the video. Let's get this message out there that we don't need to be ashamed to be microstakes players, and we don't need to put up with being shamed by some of the asses that unfortunately kind of populate the places where we go looking for our help. I hope the video has given you some food for thought going forward, and I hope you've got something from it, and I hope, you know, in weeks and months to come, I get some really positive feedback from how this video has helped change some people's outlooks. So yeah, please do give me some feedback, give me some comments, and we'll leave it there. I think we'll say bye for now, and we'll be back with another video really soon.